being detained, okay? Stop! Get the ball! Get out! On your way!
It was supposed to be just another quiet night on Highway 431. The Louisiana air was thick and humid, and the roads were nearly empty, only the hum of distant insects and the occasional truck breaking the silence. It was 1:49 a.m. on September 30th, 2025, when a Louisiana State Police trooper noticed a small, almost insignificant detail. The right rear taillight of a white satin Outlook was broken. A simple violation, a routine stop. Nothing more. Or so he thought. But sometimes the most ordinary moments hide the most extraordinary dangers. As the trooper flipped on his emergency lights, expecting the vehicle to pull over, something felt wrong. The Saturn didn't stop right away. Instead, it kept rolling slow, hesitant, almost calculating. Every extra second sent a chill through his instincts. He had seen this before. Drivers who hesitate are often hiding something. Drugs, weapons, warrants, or something far worse. Finally, the car drifted to a stop just south of Snowsheets Road. The red and blue lights painted the dark road in eerie pulses. The trooper took a deep breath, stepped out of his patrol unit, and approached cautiously. He didn't know it yet, but every step he took was bringing him closer to the moment that would define his career and change 2 lives forever. The driver, later identified as 34-year-old Brandon Nicholas, was already acting strange. His movements were slow and deliberate, as if stalling for time. When ordered to step out of the car, he hesitated again. Seconds stretched uncomfortably long. The trooper's instincts screamed louder with each pause. Something was off. When Nicholas finally stepped out, his expression was unreadable. The trooper explained the reason for the stop and asked for his license. Nicholas replied calmly, "It's inside the car." That was normal enough until the next question came. The trooper asked, "Are there any weapons in the vehicle?" It was the most important question every officer asks on a dark roadside. Nicholas looked him straight in the eye and said a single word, "No." That one lie changed everything. As they approached the car together, the trooper's flashlight cut through the darkness. The faint, unmistakable smell of marijuana hit him first, but then he saw it. Lying on the driver's side floorboard was a semi-automatic pistol, glinting in the light, fitted with an extended magazine. His pulse quickened. Nicholas had just lied about having a weapon, and now the reason for all that hesitation was painfully clear. In an instant, this was no longer a traffic stop. It was a potential gunfight. The trooper drew on his training, steady but alert. He ordered Nicholas to turn around and began to handcuff him. "You're being detained," he said firmly. But before he could secure the cuffs, Nicholas made a desperate move. He twisted violently, resisting, then dove back into the driver's seat, reaching toward the loaded firearm on the floor. For a split second, time froze. Then chaos exploded. The trooper lunged forward, trying to stop Nicholas from grabbing the gun. The suspect slammed the car into drive, his foot crushing the accelerator. The trooper was caught half inside, half outside the moving car as the vehicle shot forward down the dark highway. The wind roared. The world became a blur of panic and motion. Inside the car, Nicholas reached down toward the weapon. The officer fought to control his arms while trying not to fall beneath the speeding car. His body camera was ripped from his uniform and fell to the pavement, capturing only fragments of the struggle before it dislodged completely. In that moment, every officer's nightmare became reality. The trooper was trapped in a moving vehicle with an armed, desperate man fighting for his life, and possibly for the officers too. He had seconds to make a decision no human being should ever have to make. If he didn't act, Nicholas could get hold of that gun and end his life in an instant. If he did, someone was going to die either way. The trooper drew his service weapon and fired multiple times while still fighting to break free from the vehicle. Each shot was a split-second calculation, driven by fear and training colliding. Nicholas's foot stayed on the accelerator, but the car swerved violently, barely staying on the road. The officer finally managed to pull away, stumbling onto the asphalt as the white Saturn sped off into the darkness. For a brief moment, everything was still. Then reality crashed back in. The suspect was gone, possibly armed, possibly wounded. The trooper grabbed his radio and called it in with shaking hands. Shots fired. Suspect fleeing north on Highway 431. 3 minutes later, another call came in. The white Saturn had stopped roughly a mile and a half away, sitting motionless in the roadway. The silence of the night had returned, but now it carried the weight of tragedy. When backup units arrived, they found Nicholas slumped inside the vehicle, gravely wounded. The trooper, despite having just faced death himself, did what every trained professional is taught to do. He tried to save the man who had just tried to kill him. He called for medical help, began CPR, and refused to stop until paramedics arrived. It was an act of duty, of humanity, and of heartbreak all at once, but despite their efforts, Brandon Nicholas was pronounced dead at the hospital. Investigators worked through the night to piece together what had happened. The gun Nicholas had reached for was found later, tossed into a ditch between the traffic stop and the final crash site. The Louisiana State Police Crime Lab confirmed that it belonged to Nicholas, and more importantly, that he was a convicted felon prohibited from owning firearms. The truth was undeniable. The trooper's instincts had been right from the very start. Nicholas had lied because he knew the truth would destroy his freedom. He had been caught with a gun he wasn't legally allowed to have, under the influence of drugs, driving a vehicle that now carried evidence of multiple crimes. Faced with the choice between surrender and desperation, he chose the latter and paid the ultimate price. So the next time you see those red and blue lights in your rearview mirror, remember this story. Remember that honesty can save lives. One lie turned a simple broken taillight into a tragedy. If this story moved you, please share it.